Hey guys, welcome back to the Joven Finance YouTube channel. Today we're going to be talking about a more personal story of my own investing and how I lost a lot of money trying to be risky and big gambling with Wall Street bets. So if you guys do enjoy this video, make sure you guys hit that like button and let's get into it. So now onto my personal story that I want to talk about. So yes, I'm super big into personal finance and saving money and all of this and that, but sometimes things just seem too good to be true. So I joined the Wall Street Bets subreddit about maybe like 2 to 3 weeks ago, right at the beginning of all of this GameStop stock hype and everything like that. So my portfolio is mostly in like non-risky stuff such as like QQQ and index funds and ETFs and everything like that, because I don't really like a lot of risk. So, I mean, it is interesting to watch like GameStop stock and AMC with these 400% returns in one day. And you could just imagine like putting in $2,000 and they're walking away with like 8,000 by the end of the day. Like it's such a interesting feeling to have, but you know that only about 1% of the people on that subreddit actually are going to get that return. It's an interesting exercise to do. Figure out how much money you could have put in and see how much money you could have made and all of these returns and all of these high numbers and everything like that. So about a few days ago, I was on the subreddit and I saw that they were hyping up Nokia stock. And I had seen what they had done with GameStop stock and AMC stock. So I was like, okay, well, maybe this is my opportunity to make a quick few $1,000s or a quick like 1 to 200% return in a day, because that would be really cool. Even though this is totally against my investing strategy, I thought it'd be interesting to see if I could actually make some returns like they were showing on the subreddit. So on 127, I had purchased 100 shares of Nokia at $8.70 a share. And for those of you guys that don't know, right about that time it hit $8.70, then it went up to $9, and then it dropped back down to $6. So basically within a few minutes, I was already losing money. And so I determined that this was way too risky to be in, and I'd put way too much money at stake, so I sold it at $6.91 for a really big loss. So later that day, I was deciding whether or not to buy more Nokia stock, and I went into the Wall Street Bets subreddit and I noticed that they were really hyping it up and saying that this was going to be the next stock to go to the moon and this and that and everything. So I decided to buy back in, and I bought about 300 shares at about $6.80 a share. And ever since about then, it's only been going down. So I eventually closed my position on Nokia, and I sold my 300 shares for about $4.09 a share, leaving me with another big loss. God. So on 127, I lost about $1,200 on Nokia stock trying to day trade, and honestly, I was just being an idiot and impatient. I am happy though that I did close out my position in Nokia, because it has continued to go down, and I think I'd be losing even more money than I did if I hadn't closed out my position already. So the reason I wanted to talk about this was because it was just a combination of like stupidity and all of this hype and all of these emotions. And for someone that comes from personal finance and someone who does love investing, but I don't really like taking a lot of risk. So this was something new that I was trying, but I ended up getting burned by it. But even though I did lose a lot of money, I did learn a lot from this. And this is the last time that I am going to try to day trade. Honestly, I was just like super happy. For the past 2 weeks, I was seeing all these massive run-ups and all these gains people were making. And usually this is the type of stock that I would totally avoid because it'll crash eventually and I don't want to take that risk and everything. But for some reason, I just decided to pull the trigger and just invest so much money into these. Well, not too much, but invest enough money into this that I wasn't comfortable staying in the position. So I had to close the position for a loss. And I mean, you do learn stuff from something like this. And honestly, I'm probably not going to invest in anything risky again. Only going to stick with the ETFs and the indexes from now on, with those slow, steady returns year after year. For the past 2 weeks, my emotions were running high. I was like, oh my God, this could be the deal of the century. You just buy in and it goes up 400% and you're walking away with tens of thousands of dollars. And honestly, that just didn't happen. I mean, I was hoping it happened, like most teenagers, hoping to hit the lottery, make a quick few $1,000s, and that just never ended up happening. So I really just wanted to share this story because I wanted to say that like people make mistakes, and I mean, yeah, I'm super big into personal finance and saving money and not really taking a lot of risk. I mean, this was just like something that seemed like it was a done deal, and everybody on the internet was hyping it up, and it seemed like it was going to be the next like Wolf of Wall Street situation where you like just make a shit ton of money and everything. But sometimes expectations aren't met. I mean, I knew the risk that I was taking by putting this money onto this stock that wasn't really shorted that much, so I don't really know why I thought it was going to go up, even though in the back of my mind I knew that it probably wouldn't have the same run up as either GameStop or AMC, but for some reason I just, on a whim, just decided to invest and I got burned pretty bad. So ever since I sold my position in Nokia, my whole idea has been restructuring my portfolio for safer long-term returns that definitely aren't as risky, so I don't have to stress every single second if I'm making money or losing money and really how much money I'm actually losing. I definitely don't want to risk my entire portfolio, but I thought what I was putting up was a reasonable amount. I mean, you should never invest your entire portfolio into like one stock or one ETF. It's all about diversification, and just in case one stock doesn't perform as well as you'd like it to, the rest of your stocks are continuing to perform well, so it offsets your loss from your stock that just didn't perform very well. So the whole reason I really wanted to talk about this whole thing with my personal investing and everything like that was to show you that really anything can happen on the stock market. You can be so hyped up and see that everybody is making money, and then all of a sudden you invest and you lose a lot of money. I mean, the stock market is so unpredictable. What's happening right now is so unusual and is probably heading more towards bubble territory, which will probably burst and everything will go down. But in the long term, the stock market continues to go up. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you guys did like hearing about my more personal side of investing, make sure you guys subscribe so you never miss out when I post a new video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.